It's another day. The sun is up and the birds are singing. It's holiday, so just like any other Nigerian living in the 60s, you pick up your hoe and cutlass and head to the farm because that farm will not farm itself. After a few hours of harvesting yams, you decide to take a break. You prepare some roasted yam to eat for lunch. While the yam is burning, you see a squirrel on the tree next to you. Then you recall you didn't bring your catapult. Lucky day for you, Mr. Squirrel, you said. You take your attention back to the burning yam. It's almost ready. Just as you are about to remove the yam from the fire, a very loud sound disrupts you. Your heart beats accelerates to full speed. Confused and scared, you begin to look around, looking for possible explanations to what's going on. Out of the smoke, an armored vehicle emerges with troops of grand soldiers running by its side. Yes, you are right. Your country is at war.
If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our new updates.
Let's go back to a few years when Nigeria gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1960. Nigeria had a population of 60 million people, made up of more than 300 different ethnic and cultural groups. The British divided Nigeria into three regions: North, West, and East. The country was divided in such a way that the North had a slightly higher population than the other two regions combined. On this basis, the Northern region was allocated a majority of the seats in the federal legislature established by the colonial authorities. On 15th January 1966, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogu and Major Emmanuel Ifeajuna and other junior army officers attempted a coup d'etat. The two major political leaders of the North, the Prime Minister Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and the Premier of the Northern region, Sir Ahmadu Bello, were executed by Major Nzeogu. The coup d'etat succeeded in seizing political control in the north. It failed in the south, especially in the Lagos-Ibadan-Abeokuta military district, where loyalist troops crushed the revolt. Apart from Ifeajuna, who fled the country after the collapse of their coup, the other two general majors and the rest of their military officers involved in the revolt later surrendered and were detained. A deep federal investigation began. The military took over power. Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu became military governor of the Eastern region. Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon became the supreme commander of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Despite the fact that the coup was led by mostly northern soldiers from June through October 1966, extremists in the north killed an estimated 8,000 to 30,000 Igbos, half of them children, and caused more than 1 million to 2 million to flee to the eastern region. The presence of refugees in eastern Nigeria became alarming. The new military governor of the north wasn't happy about this. Extensive negotiations took place between Ojukwu, representing eastern Nigeria, and Gowon, representing the Nigerian federal military government. Gowon responded with the division of Nigeria into 12 states. This decree carved the eastern region in 3 parts. Now the Igbos concentrated in the east-central states with least control over most of the petroleum located in the other 2 areas. Ojukwu vexed. On 30th May 1967, Ojukwu declared independence of the Republic of Biafra. In response to this, the federal government of Nigeria immediately stopped all shipping to and from Biafra. The Nigerian government launched a police action to retake the Biafran territory. The war began in the early hours of 6 July 1967 when Nigerian federal troops advanced in 2 columns into Biafra. The Biafra strategy had succeeded. The federal government had started the war and the East was defending itself. The Biafrans responded with an offensive of their own. When on 9th August, the Biafran forces moved to the west side into the midwestern region of Nigeria, the attack met little resistance and the Midwest was easily taken over. Enugu became the hub of secession and rebellion, and the Nigerian government believed that once Enugu was captured, the drive for secession would end. The plan to conquer Enugu began on 12 September 1967. By 4th October 1967, the Nigerian army had captured Enugu. Nigerian soldiers under Murtala Muhammad carried out a mass killing of 700 civilians when they captured Asaba and the river Niger. The Nigerians were repulsed 3 times as they attempted to cross the river Niger during October, resulting in the loss of thousands of troops, dozens of tanks, and equipment. From 1968 onward, the war fell into a form of stalemate. Another Nigerian offensive from April to June 1968 began to close the ring around the Biafrans. The blockade of the surrounded Biafrans led to a humanitarian disaster when it emerged that there was widespread civilian hunger and starvation in the besieged Igbo area. With increased British support, the Nigerian Federal Forces launched their final offensive against the Biafrans. The final Nigerian offensive, named Operation Tailwind, was launched on 7 January 1970. The Biafran towns of Owerri fell on 9th January and Uli on 11th January. Only a few days earlier, Ojukwu fled into exile by plane to the Ivory Coast, leaving his deputy Philip Effiong to handle the details of the surrender to General Yakubu Gowon of the Federal Army on the 13th January 1970. The surrender paper was signed on 14th January 1970 in Lagos, and thus came the end of the Civil War and renunciation of secession. After the war, Gowon said, "The tragic chapter of violence is just ended. We are at the dawn of national reconciliation. Once again, we have an opportunity to build a new nation." My dear compatriots, we must pay homage to the fallen, to the heroes who have made the supreme sacrifice that we may be able to build a nation great in justice, fair trade, and industry.
Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next video.